Your fence is probably the most neglected canvas in your entire yard. Bare, weathered, maybe a little embarrassing, and you have walked past it 100 times wishing something would change. Today, something changes. Welcome back to Cultiville. I am giving you 9 perennials that will transform your fence into a living masterpiece. Plants that come back every year, get fuller every season, and do things that no renovation budget can replicate. I saved the most jaw-dropping plant for last, so stay with me all the way through. Let's go!
Plant number 1, Clematis. Clematis is the classic that earns its reputation every single year. Those rich purple blooms, layered, dense, absolutely show-stopping, will make people stop mid-stride in front of your fence. It is hardy in zones 4 through 9, and in a single growing season, a healthy, well-planted clematis puts on 3 to 5 feet of new growth. And it does that after dying back to the ground every winter and coming back each spring slightly stronger than the year before. By year 3, that stacking effect creates a professional-grade density that hides any fence completely. But there is one mistake that kills more clematis than anything else, and it is completely avoidable. When stems go limp, what gardeners call clematis wilt, most people panic and assume the plant is dying. It is not. The fix is in the planting. Pro tip: bury the crown 2 to 3 inches below the soil surface when you plant. This protects the root system and gives the plant a recovery point if the top growth struggles. Also, position it 6 to 12 inches away from the fence itself. Wooden fences heat up in summer and will stress the roots. And in winter, when the stems die back completely, do not touch them. Do not pull them. New growth emerges from the base every spring. The dead-looking stems are not dead. They are resting.
Plant number 2, Trumpet Vine, Campsis radicans. If clematis is the elegant choice, Trumpet Vine is the beast. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, this plant pushes out 6 to 10 feet of new growth every single season. And it does it with those fiery orange-red tubular flowers that hummingbirds are absolutely obsessed with. It attaches to surfaces using tiny aerial rootlets, no trellis required, and creates a dense green curtain faster than almost anything else on this list. But Trumpet Vine has a dark side you need to understand before you plant it. It spreads aggressively via underground runners, and if you let it go unchecked, it will colonize everything around it. Pro tip: use the bottomless container technique. Plant it inside a container 15 to 18 inches in diameter with the bottom removed, then sink that container directly into the ground. The walls block the underground runners while the plant above thrives completely normally. This one technique is the difference between a spectacular fence vine and a garden nightmare. And before you plant, check your fence structure. Trumpet vine is heavy and vigorous, and it will find and exploit every weak point in aging wood or loose posts.
Plant number 3, Coral Honeysuckle, Lonicera sempervirens. Before I talk about this plant, I need to say something clearly. This is not the invasive Japanese honeysuckle that smothers roadsides and outcompetes everything in its path. Coral honeysuckle is the well-behaved native cousin. It stays exactly where you plant it. Hardy in zones 4 through 9, it grows 3 to 6 feet per season and gives you something almost no other climber can match: a bloom window that runs from March all the way through October. 7 months of continuous coral red flowers. And in warmer regions, it behaves as a semi-evergreen, giving you year-round coverage on top of that. Pro tip: to keep that 7-month bloom window running at full capacity, do one thing: a 15-minute pruning session after the first spring bloom. That single cut triggers subsequent flushes throughout the entire season. Skip it, and the blooms slow significantly. It also handles partial shade better than almost any other climber, making it the perfect solution for fence sections that face north or sit in the shadow of a building, where most climbers simply refuse to perform.
Plant number 4, Climbing Hydrangea, Hydrangea anomala subspecies petiolaris, I am going to ask you to do something that goes against every gardening instinct you have. I am going to ask you to be patient. Climbing hydrangea is hardy in zones 4 through 8, and it operates on what I call the 3-year rule. In years 1 and 2, it puts nearly all of its energy underground, expanding its root system. Above ground, almost nothing happens, and every year, gardeners rip it out in frustration, convinced it is dead or failing just weeks before it was about to take off. Do not be that gardener. Because in year 3, something extraordinary happens. Growth accelerates dramatically. Those large, flat, lace-cap flower heads, creamy white and architectural, begin to appear. And this plant will eventually reach 30 feet of coverage, attaching directly to wood or brick using self-produced aerial rootlets with no trellis required. But here is what makes it truly irreplaceable. It is one of the very few flowering climbers in the entire horticultural world that thrives in full, dense shade. Not partial shade, full shade. That north-facing fence section where nothing seems to grow, climbing hydrangea will cover it. Pro tip: mark the planting spot clearly and take a photo the day you plant. When years 1 and 2 feel discouraging, look at that photo and remind yourself what you are building. The patience is the investment, and it pays out for decades.
Plant number 5. Passion flower. Passiflora incarnata. Passion flower looks like something that belongs in a tropical rainforest. Those intricate, alien, beautiful blooms, purple and white, structured like something an architect designed, make people do an actual double take at your fence. And when they find out it is a rugged North American native, hardy in zones 5 through 9, that grows 6 to 15 feet in a single season and produces edible fruit, they genuinely cannot believe it. It climbs using spiraling tendrils that wrap around wire mesh or wooden slats with surprising speed, and it is the sole host plant for the Gulf fritillary butterfly. Plant this, and you are not just decorating a fence, you are building a habitat. But here is the mistake most gardeners make, and it is a counterintuitive one. Passion flower looks exotic, so people assume it needs rich soil and generous fertilizer. It does not. Too much nitrogen produces lush leaves and almost no flowers. The more you pamper it, the less it blooms. Pro tip: plant in lean, well-drained soil and resist every urge to fertilize. And for the best visual coverage, train the vine to spread horizontally along the fence, rather than letting it climb straight up. Horizontal training maximizes the surface area covered and creates that lush, opaque curtain effect far faster than vertical growth. The edible fruit, called the maypop, arrives in late summer as a bonus.
Plant number 6, Virginia creeper, Parthenocissus quinquefolia. If you need the fence hidden now, not in 3 years, not next season, but this summer, Virginia creeper is your answer. Hardy all the way from zone 3 through zone 9, it pushes out 10 to 15 feet of growth every season and creates a genuinely opaque green curtain by midsummer. It grips surfaces using adhesive tip tendrils that hold with extraordinary strength. No ties, no trellis, no assistance required. But the moment that will make you fall completely in love with Virginia creeper happens in autumn. When temperatures drop, the foliage ignites into a blazing, incandescent red that is one of the most dramatic seasonal color displays in the entire plant world. And it produces fall berries that sustain over 30 bird species through the winter months. Pro tip: Virginia creeper's speed is both its superpower and its one management challenge. Commit to 15 minutes of pruning twice a year, once in late spring and once in late summer, to keep it from creeping onto your roof or into nearby trees. That 30 minutes of annual effort is all that stands between a spectacular fence and an uncontrolled takeover. And note, the berries are toxic to humans, so keep that in mind if you have young children in the garden.
Plant number 7, American wisteria, Wisteria frutescens. I need to be very specific before we go any further. When I say wisteria, I mean American wisteria, the native species, hardy in zones 5 through 9, growing 3 to 6 feet per season, not the Asian varieties. The Asian species are beautiful but invasive, and they will damage structures and outcompete everything around them. American wisteria gives you all of the breathtaking, fragrant purple flower clusters without any of those problems. Now, the single most important piece of information about wisteria, the thing that saves you years of frustration, is this. Seed-grown wisteria can take 10 to 15 years to bloom. 15 years of waiting. And millions of gardeners have done exactly that, not knowing there was a better way. Pro tip: when you visit the nursery, ask explicitly for grafted stock or rooted cuttings taken from a parent plant that is already flowering. Grafted plants bloom within 2 to 3 years. That one question saves you over a decade of waiting. Also, wisteria blooms on old wood. Prune in fall or early spring, and you are cutting off next year's flower buds. Prune only in early summer, immediately after flowering. And reinforce your fence before planting. This plant is architectural and heavy, and it needs robust support to carry its weight.
Plant number 8, climbing roses, Rosa spp. Climbing roses are the most iconic fence plant in the entire gardening world, and also the most misunderstood. Hardy in zones 4 through 9 and growing 3 to 8 feet per season depending on variety, they are not difficult plants. They are specific plants. And once you understand what they actually need, they become one of the most rewarding things you will ever grow on a fence. Those blooms, layered, fragrant, available in every color from deep crimson to soft blush to pure white, deliver a level of romantic visual impact that no other plant on this list can match in full flower. Pro tip: the biggest mistake with climbing roses is training the canes to grow straight up. Vertical canes produce flowers only at the very tips. When you train the canes horizontally, anchoring them along the fence at a diagonal or parallel to the ground, the plant produces flowering shoots all the way along every cane. You multiply your bloom count dramatically from the same plant. Choose disease-resistant varieties like New Dawn, Zephyrine Druhin, or Climbing Iceberg to sidestep the mildew and black spot issues that give roses their difficult reputation.
Plant number 9, Bougainvillea, Bougainvillea spp. I saved this one for last because it delivers the most visually explosive impact of anything on this list. Bougainvillea is hardy in zones 9 through 11, growing 3 to 10 feet per season. And when it is in full bloom, those vivid magenta, orange, red, or purple bracts cascading over every surface, it is one of the most spectacular sights in the entire gardening world. People stop, they photograph it, they ask what it is. Nothing else on a fence generates that kind of reaction. And here is the paradox that makes Bougainvillea so fascinating. The less water you give it, the more it blooms. This goes against every gardening instinct most people have. But Bougainvillea evolved in dry, harsh conditions, and water stress is the exact trigger that pushes it into its most spectacular flowering mode. Overwater it, and you get lush green growth and almost no color. Stress it slightly, and it explodes. Pro tip: to trigger a dramatic flowering cycle, withhold water for 2 to 3 weeks until you see the first signs of mild stress, slight leaf droop. Then water deeply. That drought and soak cycle consistently produces the most intense bloom displays. In zones below 9, grow it in a large container that you bring indoors before frost. It performs beautifully as a container plant and can be trained over a section of fence during the warm months, then overwintered inside. And use thick gloves. The thorns are sharp.
One bonus tip before I let you go, and this applies to every single plant on this list. The reason most fence plantings fail has nothing to do with the plant. It is the soil.
fence line soil is almost always compacted, contaminated with old paint, wood preservatives, or construction residue, and completely depleted of nutrition. The fix takes one afternoon. Dig a trench 18 inches deep and 12 inches wide along the fence line, remove all the existing soil, and backfill with 50% quality topsoil and 50% aged compost. This one step cuts your establishment time in half for every plant on this list.
Your fence is not a boundary. It is a canvas. Pick one plant from today's list that fits your zone and your light, get it in the ground this season, and come back and tell me what happened. Drop in the comments which one you are starting with. Like the video if this gave you a clear plan, and subscribe to Cultivel for more content on transforming your outdoor space. I'll see you in the next one. Happy growing, everyone.